come here to be more aware and of your surroundings. It'll not be the same like your hometown.
Being in this position as a Muslim, non-white, Indian person, I think it's very challenging to be in 50 cents.
No matter where you're going, how far you're going, if you're taking a public transport, one trip is only 50 cents.
So going to the office and coming back using public transport, I'll pay $1.
$1 per day.
I'm paying here at least $8.
So they were already going through a tough time, and my wife just happened to be there in the wrong time, in the wrong place, and robbery happened. Alhamdulillah, she escaped without any harm.
It's nice. Thank you so much.
No way.
Thank you. تدونا شوكولاتة.
Market was pretty dead at that time. I think the whole world was just recovering from financial crisis.
Yeah.
And doing part-time jobs whilst having your core focus on the study, I think it's definitely a good way to taste what the real world's gonna look like. You need to understand that Australia is home to some of the deadliest reptiles in the world. Probably 7 or 8 in the top 10 are in Australia.
Oh man.
So
How about the sea life? So at this time you weren't married.
no, I was single and happy. Yeah.
So,
I mean, even in our hometowns, home countries, there are people who are not nice to us. They're not racist
yeah.
because we're all the same. But I used my friend, my dad, who were actually doing all the work.
Whoa!
People whose job in that university was to make sure you're feeling at home. Being taken from the
Yes.
frying pan to the freezer
Yes.
in one day.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome my friends to a new video. Today's video will be in English because our guest is an English speaker. I told you very long ago about having an interview with him. He is the very first Muslim guy I met. Meeting him was very interesting for me. So let's go and pick him up. Assalamu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you?
Got new toys.
We're live. So ice cream is the most important part of our trip.
Of course, ice cream is a good breakfast.
Yeah, absolutely. I already have my breakfast, so
Oh man, okay.
yeah. So how are you, my friend?
Alhamdulillah.
So alhamdulillah, wallah, all good. Our friend Zubair is joining us for this video, and as I mentioned, we have promised to have an interview with him very long ago. It was like in 2023.
Oh man,
Something like that.
You are a busy man.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah.
How's life?
Life's good. Can't complain.
Yeah.
How's everything with you?
So Zubair is visiting us from Australia. So he used to be in New Zealand.
I'm a tourist now.
Yes. So he spent some time in New Zealand and then moved to Australia. But
Yes.
tell us about your story from the beginning. So how did you came to New Zealand?
How did I come to New Zealand?
How did you come? Yeah. My English is a little bit not very good.
No.
Yeah.
I'm just repeating the question to take me back to 18 years, sir.
18 years. Oh, Allah.
Nothing wrong with your question, yeah.
Yeah.
I just finished my engineering in 2005, and I worked for 1 year, and I was not quite enjoying the work.
Oh.
And then I was looking for options. I never wanted to go to America. That was the trend at that time.
Oh, yeah.
So I was looking for alternatives. And one of my friends suggested New Zealand. So I started exploring. And the friend who suggested, he even shared all my details, all my certificates to the agent. He was,
MashaAllah. Oh.
and I only met that agent once
Okay.
on a weekend in a bakery. And then he said, okay, I have your files. Let me see what I can do. And within few weeks, he said, okay, you got an admission. And then I started panicking.
So this is like a study agent?
Study agent, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I started panicking like this is happening. What should I do? You know,
Oh, yeah?
I wasn't ready fully. And then I told my dad, and he got excited, and he started dealing with it.
MashaAllah.
So, alhamdulillah, I think in the whole 2 to 3 months of preparation, I think I spoke to the agent once.
MashaAllah.
So,
Okay.
as you say, if something's meant to happen, Allah makes it happen. So, yeah, I used my friend, my dad, who were actually doing all the work, because I was working in a very busy role.
Oh, yeah.
And I used to go in the morning 9 o'clock and come home at 9 o'clock in the night or something.
Ya Allah.
So that's my working style there. So anyway, yeah.
So you started there as an engineer.
Yeah.
MashaAllah, which field of engineering? did you in?
I did my bachelor's of engineering in IT, specializing in IT.
Okay. Okay. Nice.
But at that time, I was working in more of a leadership or team lead kind of role. So it was not very technical, but alhamdulillah, it was my first opportunity. I got it as a campus placement.
Okay.
So I said, okay, why not give it a try?
Oh yeah.
It was in my hometown as well, so I said, okay.
MashaAllah. It's a perfect job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was for a fresher.
Oh yeah.
So alhamdulillah, it was good experience. Very tough,
Yeah.
but it shaped my corporate life. I think
Oh yeah.
rude awakening, but yeah.
Yeah.
I would say rough starts are better than the easy starts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you came. So you finished with the agent, and the agent introduced you to university.
Yes, he got me admission in Wellington.
Okay.
So that's how it was. The agent takes your file, submits to the university, and they approve what is approved.
Yeah.
And then once they approve, you go through the immigration. Like you take the admission confirmation from the university and then apply for a student.
Student visa.
You'll have to do all your due diligence, like showing the finances and stuff. Back in the days, it was not that complicated. But obviously over the years with a lot of people and a lot of fraud and stuff, it's become tougher. So it's not as simple as it was for me back then.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so that was I followed the standard process, and yeah, but it worked out. I mean, there was an interview from immigration, and they asked me a few basic questions and stuff, and I replied, and they're like, okay, yeah,
Okay.
here's a visa.
Okay.
So yeah,
So have you ever traveled outside India
no,
before this?
first time in the plane.
Okay. First time in the plane at all.
In the plane at all, yeah. So that
Oh,
was
yeah?
like I've never been outside, and very few people used to go to New Zealand in those days.
Yeah, absolutely. This was
It's not like I was coming to a lot of friends as well, so it was like
2001,
2006.
6. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's complete unknown, but I took the leap. I'm like, yeah.
Nice.
They say rest is history.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you came in,
Yeah.
how did you find a place to stay in?
So the agent who sent me, he had a few other students who came in the previous batch.
Oh.
So like 6 months before me, I think.
Yeah.
So he spoke to them and he said, hey, there's one more student coming. In fact, I came with my friend. We actually studied engineering together.
Oh.
As soon as I told him that, hey, I just applied for one of the New Zealand, and he got excited and I was like, oh, if you're going, I'm also coming. And, we
Nice. Nice to have someone with you.
yeah, absolutely. So alhamdulillah, we had this bonding already. We had like very good friends. We were living together like in a shared apartment while doing engineering. So he got through the process as well. And then we actually boarded the same flight.
Oh yeah.
So we came together here in New Zealand and so we stayed in one of the contacts places for 1 week. And then we found our own accommodation and stuff. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. So tell me about the very first day when you landed in New Zealand, in Wellington. So I assume you came to Wellington, right?
Yes.
Or Auckland, then Wellington.
Oh yeah, I mean landed in Auckland because
Oh, yeah.
Auckland is the only international airport at that time.
Oh yeah.
It was like maybe like 5-6 hours of transit.
Okay.
I think we landed in peak winter,
Oh man.
July
Yeah.
July 31st, if I'm not wrong,
Yeah. Yeah.
2006. Apparently, it was like one of the peak winters.
So coming from India, was it the summer at this time?
It was summer.
The peak of summer.
Yeah. So it's like
Yeah.
taken from the yes, frying pan to the freezer.
Yes.
Yes, in one day.
Yeah.
So it was like a shock, and we came with like big leather jackets. No one wears them.
Yes.
We were looking like an odd one out. So we came, we landed. I think it was raining in Auckland as usual.
Yeah.
And we carried all our baggages, and because we were students, so we had like a lot of baggage.
Yeah.
So me and my friend carried the baggage in rain with those heavy
Yeah,
3-4
wow.
kilos leather jacket.
Yeah.
Went to the domestic, and then we
Yeah.
took a flight to Wellington.
Okay.
There is a funny story in the Wellington flight.
Mm-hmm.
The flight was very noisy.
Noisy.
Very noisy. A lot of people, like huge people, like big bodies, personalities,
Oh,
all like just talking to each other very loudly.
it's like rugby players.
They all looked like rugby players.
Okay.
So they were like shouting at each other. Even
Oh.
the air crew was very friendly with them. And I was thinking, oh, okay, maybe New Zealand is very
Yeah, it's a rough start. Yeah.
rough start. And the flight was very, very turbulence. It was going to Wellington on a very, very windy day. So the flight was dropping like this.
Yeah.
And you're like, my friend and I were looking at each other. Maybe you're done.
Yeah.
The time's come. Was after hopping off the flight, we realized that we were actually traveling with the All Blacks.
Whoa! Okay, so they own the plane.
The whole team was on the plane.
Oh, yeah?
We had no idea.
Yeah.
Coming from India, rugby was not a thing.
Yeah.
So we didn't had idea who the rugby players. Like that rugby was a big game here,
Yeah.
and we didn't know who they were. We were just thinking random people shouting at each other.
Yes. They are actually very famous people. So All Blacks is it's known all over the world as the rugby
Yeah.
top-notch best rugby team in the world.
Yeah.
So they are very famous people, and
Rugby,
you didn't take any photo of them.
yeah. Rugby here is like football for Europe
Yes.
or cricket for India. Something like that. So
Even in Middle East.
huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the Middle East as well. Yeah. Football in
Football. Yeah.
We had no idea. We were like thinking some rude people
Yeah.
making a lot of noise on the plane, but yeah, it turns out they're the only time we realized was when we go hop off the plane and walking on the tarmac.
Yeah.
They were like big banners saying we welcome the All Blacks.
Oh yeah.
That's how we know. Okay, faces look.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's when we understood why the air crew was very happy to have them, and they were very friendly and things. So
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
good story on day one. So that's typically what day one.
Yeah. Okay. Meeting famous people, but you don't know them.
Yeah.
So you landed, you took your luggage, and then had some place to stay in.
Yeah,
When you moved.
we were picked up by a contact.
Okay.
And the first interaction with that contact was, he comes, greets us, says Salaam alaikum, wa alaikum salam and stuff, and then he says, who asked you to come to New Zealand?
Oh, where was your mind?
And again, me and my friend were looking at each other like, okay,
that's
great starting meeting. Okay, and he was like, he had like a very interesting laugh. Like, who asked you to come to New Zealand? Ha ha ha. And we were like, okay, we can't go back now.
Yeah.
Let's see what is stuck. Yeah. So he took us to the room, and he gave us like a room to he said, you guys must be tired, take a sleep and stuff. And I think we slept in the evening after having like light meal or something, like 4 o'clock or something. And we woke up the next afternoon around 3 o'clock.
Okay.
So
3 o'clock.
Almost 24 hours sleep. So we were like exhausted, probably nervous and everything together. So and we woke up on a Sunday evening, 4 o'clock I think.
Yeah.
Wellington, cold Wellington, big winter. And we said, okay, let's go out just for a quick walk. And everything looked like there was a curfew.
There was a
curfew. There was a strike. Like
strike.
Not a single person on the roads.
Oh, okay.
Every shop closed. And we were like thinking, what is happening here?
Yeah. City of the Dead.
And that's when people told me, oh, it's already 5 o'clock. Everything closes here at 5 o'clock. So you're not seeing any people here.
So Wellington is the capital of New Zealand.
It's the capital of the New Zealand.
To make it clear.
Yeah.
But this is 18 years ago.
It is 18 years ago.
Yeah.
I think it's capital mainly for the government, but it's not like a big city. So, but obviously, when we came there, we didn't know that was the case. So, that was another. It was an interesting learnings.
Yeah.
Day by day and stuff. Yeah.
So at this time, you weren't married.
No, I was single and happy.
Yeah, I got it on video. Okay.
Now I'm married and happy.
Oh, yeah. I know.
That's on the video.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Still. So when you came, after you settled down, moved to your accommodation and all good to start studying, what was the culture shock you had when you came in? Obviously, it's very different from where you're coming
Yeah.
back home?
Yeah, I think Wellington was at that time. It was like an easy city to get used to. Very few people,
Yeah.
generally welcoming people. Most New Zealand, so it was like a smaller city compared to Auckland. People were like more welcoming, receptive of. And the difference for me was I was in university environment.
Yeah.
So there were like people whose job in that university was to make sure you're feeling at home, like kind of you're at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you're settling well. So there used to be people who I think they are called student counselors.
Yeah.
So their primary job was to check in with you once a week, once a few days, make sure you have like your basic setup, like your bank account, like your phone and everything.
Yeah.
So they made sure they to look after us. So I think they were looking after us from a culture outside the university. There was not many interactions at the beginning because like we were like few students together. So we used to go together, we used to come back together, like for the first few months because we didn't start working and everything.
Yeah.
But obviously things started opening up when you start like doing part-time jobs and things. I used to work for a museum
Okay.
as a part-time job. Like every museum's got a gift shop.
Oh yeah.
So I was working at the gift shop as a retail agent and stuff. So that's when you start seeing the local people, tourists and everything. So that's how your mind starts opening up and things. So yeah.
Do you think it was a good idea for you to start working straight away when you came in part-time job?
I would definitely suggest people doing that because you can't stay in your own bubbles. Like one day or the other, you need to open up.
Yeah.
And doing part-time jobs whilst having your core focus on the study, I think it's definitely a good way to taste what the real world's gonna look like.
And also to exercise your language.
Absolutely, language was
Yeah.
another thing, because especially working in the tourist spot,
Yeah.
I was experiencing not only Kiwi English, Scottish,
Oh, yeah.
and everything. My head was spinning a few times, like, what are they saying?
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to ask people to repeat and stuff. But again, being in a part-time, in a like retail setup, it's okay to actually ask for many times and learn and stuff. So I think I would definitely suggest people actually getting a taste of it before getting into the real world and actually doing full time, and then it'll be like a big learning curve.
And get your ear used to the language and the slangs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think it's language is the most important thing, right? I mean that's how communicate with people.
Yeah.
So the sooner you understand what people are saying, understand the local slang, the more you can connect with them.
So let them.
Yeah, absolutely. So it definitely helps. It gives you better contact, better understanding and awareness of the surroundings and things. So, yeah, that's definitely been my focus, and it worked out well for me. So I definitely suggest people to do that.
Okay. How long did you study for?
1.5 years. It was meant to be like a 2-year course with a summer break included and everything.
Yeah.
But I was I don't know what I was thinking at that time. I didn't take a summer break.
Okay.
All my friends took the summer break.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't take a summer break and I said, I want to finish quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So I finished like a term before all of my friends.
Was it a good thing?
It was a okay thing, I think. I don't know if it was a nervous thing for me, but it was like a good thing for my friends because they were watching me do stuff.
Okay.
So it was like a good practice run for them.
Oh yeah.
Let's see what he does, something like that. So, but I think for me it worked out okay. Alhamdulillah, I can't complain. Though I was in the market way before other people were looking for jobs.
Yeah.
So I was, I had, so this was 2007, roughly about that time, 2007 or early 2008. So market was pretty dead at that time. I think the whole world was just recovering from financial crisis.
Yeah.
I think New Zealand probably started seeing because it's so remote from the rest of the world, like the US and the bigger economies. So they started seeing the impact late. It took us a long time for all my friends to find a part-time job.
Oh yeah.
Like we were without part-time job for like good 6 months. We were almost using the money we bought from home and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, just at the right time we found the job, and then we started working at things.
So first job, what was it?
It was the museum, and then I did like as I say, when things happen, they happen in a big, in bulk or something.
Yeah.
So I found a job in the museum, which was like most likely like a day job.
Yeah.
And because it was summer break, the students were allowed to work for more than 20 hours.
Oh.
During the course, it's 20 hours max.
Yeah.
But during summer breaks, you can work as much.
Full time. Yeah.
Like even more than full time, like 40, 60 hours as well. So there's no cap.
Mm-hmm.
So At that time, I was working at the museum in the morning, and I was working in a supermarket, pack and save, in the night.
MashaAllah.
So
Yes.
again, young blood. So they
Yes.
were like able to push us also.
Yes, yes.
Not anymore.
No Kiwi laid back yet.
Exactly. So that time we were like there to hustle. I did two jobs for like probably 2 to 3 months, and then because it was night job, it was a little bit of a struggle with the sleep and stuff. So yeah, I think I gave up on the second job and I stuck to one job. And because I was doing the summer course as well, so it was becoming a bit of a challenge. So I thought, okay, let me stop for now.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, but that was again, as I said, for me, I was always in favor of having a rough start, pushing my boundaries and like seeing how far I can go, that kind of thing.
So when was your first job with IT?
My first job in IT was 2008, early 2008.
Okay.
I started working in a university of Victoria University in Wellington. That's one of the big universities in Wellington. As an IT support person. So they had like 4 campuses across Wellington.
Oh yeah.
So each campus is supposed to have like an IT support specialist in each of the campuses, supporting students.
Yeah.
Like the most of the things were like new students coming in, they don't know how to set up their accounts and stuff. So like a little bit of like basic troubleshooting and stuff.
Okay.
Nothing really exciting or pushing my limits, but it was more of an entry level role. So I was happy with that. So I gradually, after working there for like probably 6-7 months, I was too bored, and then I joined Unisys. So that was probably like a real entry into the IT world. So I was doing probably like second level support and stuff for Vodafone Australia.
Okay. You graduated from engineering, and your first job was in a gift shop, and then IT support.
Yeah.
For some people, they will be like, "Oh no, I'm an engineer.
Yeah.
Why would I be in a gift shop selling stamps and things?" And how do you?
Good question. Yeah, I think that's definitely a thought. In fact, I think, as I said, more than that, for me, another big shock was the 1 year I worked in India.
Yeah.
I was already at the lead level. I was leading a team. People were calling me nice, a big title and stuff. So for me, that was even bigger shock.
Oh yeah.
Because from actually having a few people talking to me and taking my instructions to working in a gift shop,
Yeah.
which is which people.
It's a big change.
Yeah, it's a big change, right?
Yeah.
But look, I think when you leave your home ground, the perspectives change, because there's so much you don't know about the new place. So I think for you, the sooner you get to understand how the local population works, how these countries operate, what kind of culture they have, what are the do's and don'ts, you need to get into it soon. At that time, no job is small for you, because anything is a learning. So I think we should break that stigma that I should only work in certain jobs, I should not do. Don't make that your permanent spot.
Yeah.
It's like like you're
Initially,
as a launch pad, like you're taking one step and finding another better one, taking another step.
Yeah.
And in these countries, what I've observed over the years,
yeah.
people give jobs to people who already have a job.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing, right?
Yeah, the Kiwi experience. You already have it. So there is a
Exactly.
big thing in New Zealand called the Kiwi experience.
Exactly.
That you have been working in any Kiwi place. So you know how to say hi and bye and how to drink coffee. And
Absolutely. Yes, coffee is a big thing for Kiwis. So I think if you're planning to come here,
yeah.
get used to having like a really bitter coffee. So depending on where you
Flat white, yeah.
flat white and or long blacks or something. Yeah.
Okay, we'll take a break. We'll get an ice cream or a coffee since we are Kiwis.
or coffee and ice cream. Yeah.
Yes. And we'll come back.
Yes. Okay.
Let's go.
Catch you later. Yeah. You're telling me now. So you're telling me late. Okay, I got the message.
So since Zubair is a returning Kiwi to New Zealand, we're taking him to the most and the newest mall in New Zealand, which is Manoa Bay. I think I've seen this before with Amr. We had an interview, a little bit of it here. So we'll go for an ice cream, and we'll see what we can do inside. I'm not really sure. Security people are there, so mostly they will stop us. But yeah, we'll see. It's nice. Thank you so much.
No way. Thank you.
They do no chocolate. They gave us some free chocolates.
So this was the
Oh, that's nice. Flat white with almond milk.
That's another Kiwi thing. Almond milks.
Yeah. So
Vegan milks.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So this is a small flat white, and flat white is a branded coffee in New Zealand. So let's go and see. So we'll have some discussions here, and then we will go back to the car. This is a very nice playing area, but unfortunately you'll not be able to record because a lot of people here, and we need to keep their privacy. Oh, Mr. Zubair, how was your coffee?
Coffee was good.
Okay.
Probably not the best, but it was good. As you said, it's more about the experience.
Yeah.
Looking at lots of chocolates and then having a coffee, probably it's a different feeling.
Yeah. Give you the satisfaction of as if you had a coffee, had a cafe, had a.
And then they gave you 3 chocolates, so
Yeah.
that was scary.
Not every time, but yeah, it was a good move.
Good timing.
Yeah. Okay. So you got your first job in IT. Usually, the first thing people will come to minds, talking about working in a Western country, is the racism, and a lot of people saying New Zealand is full of racism, and a lot of people saying there is no racism at all.
Yeah.
So how do you find this?
I think they're both wrong.
Oh yeah.
In my experience, anyway.
Okay, that's good.
So there is no full racism here, and there is no racism here.
Mm-hmm.
I think any country, no matter whatever, the best country in the world you go to, there'll be a little bit of racism.
Like a healthy racism.
It can be healthy depending on how the other people take it.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, so though both the statements are wrong, only because no matter where you go, there are bad characters.
Yes.
Right.
Bad people are always there.
Exactly. And the typical, or you're taking my job kind of people.
Oh yeah. You
so
come from a country to take my job.
Yes. So there will be people, and the way they respond to this insecurity is showing racism.
Yeah.
So again, probably New Zealand, so far you can almost say on a racism scale, probably it's on the lowest.
Yeah.
It's there, but it's on the lower end.
Yeah.
So I think you still need to be mindful. You can't just blindly walk in expecting, people are going to be welcoming me everywhere.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you should not be skeptical and say, everyone's going to be doing something to me.
Okay.
So I think, again, this is part of building your character in this new country.
Yeah.
Building your personality. Even in our hometowns, home countries, there are people who are not nice to us. They're not racist.
Yeah.
Because we're all the same. But there are people who are bad.
They're racist.
Yeah. Some are, yes.
Yeah.
But that like you need to be. I think the best term I can think of is street smart.
Oh yeah.
So you need to be aware of your surroundings, where you are, and how people are responding to you or how they're treating you, and then you should not be afraid of being a little bit assertive to people.
Yeah.
So sometimes there might be a situation where you might have to take your stand and push back.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's all part of building your personality or your character in this country. So
Okay. Do you remember how did we meet at the beginning?
yes.
How?
So I joined my first contract in Auckland.
Oh, this was the first contract.
Yeah, that was my first contract.
Okay.
In a small company at that time.
Yeah. 200 people.
No, at that time it was 30, 40 people.
Same,
When
yeah,
I
okay.
joined, it was 30 people.
Yeah.
Day one, I'm just like setting up my laptop and stuff, and suddenly I get a message saying, "Assalamu alaikum, brother." I was so happy. There is someone who actually know that I'm here, and alhamdulillah, I'm very happy.
Yeah.
And then I replied and say, where are you? And then that's how I met you.
Yeah.
So and alhamdulillah, we've been friends since then.
So this was my first job in New Zealand, and I was searching for someone who's Muslim, and we can pray Dhuhr together. So when I saw your name on the general group, like welcome Muhammad Zubair, he's joining us as a Scrum Master, I was like, yeah, finally, I have someone Muslim, so I can pray with him. And to be honest, I was very shy and very afraid. I like booking a meeting room to pray in. I was very new to the country, but mashallah, you have empowered me. This is what I can say. And teach me how to ask for everything, especially for the halal food and the prayer times and booking the Jum'ah time. Because
No, alhamdulillah, I think we both helped each other. I think for me, the first thought which came to mind when I saw your message was, okay, there is someone I can pray with.
Yes, yes.
So that was like, a great start for the day one.
Yeah.
Like getting into a new job, settling in, it's all part of the package, you have to do it anyway.
Yeah.
But having someone who you can actually have a like-minded conversation, like pray together, that's like a luxury.
Yeah.
I think you gave me that feeling on day one, so that was a good start for
You
me.
gave me the same feeling because it just now I knew that was your first day in Auckland or first job in Auckland. I thought you have been here since the whole your time.
First contract job in Auckland.
Okay.
But I've been in Auckland before.
Oh yeah.
For years.
Okay.
As a contractor, that was my first job.
Yeah.
I've been on a permanent job before then. So.
Okay, that's a good segue. So contracting is a big thing. But to be able to do contracts or even to work the job you're working now, you're working as a Scrum Master / project manager / team lead or agile coach.
Yeah.
It's like a coach for project management for people who doesn't know what's agile. So
yes.
but being in this position as a Muslim, non-white, Indian person, I think it's very challenging to be in. So we have a say that you will not reach till you start drinking, and then because the real deals will happen in bars. Literally, you are in a leadership position where you deal with the higher management.
Yeah, very good question and probably a toughest question so far.
Yeah.
Look, yes, I think it's a no-brainer that we are in a very different culture than what we like to. So there are barriers. But at the same time, in this day and age, I think Kiwis are still open-minded. But it really comes up to us. I think we need to be very open about the boundaries we have.
Mm-hmm.
For me, like for the local population, the best way they socialize in a casual way, in a non-work setup, is through drinks.
Yes.
For me, I normally, when I get into a new setup, I make sure I'm being very open about my social setup. For me, I can come to you and have a coffee anytime. Drinks is not my thing.
Yeah.
I don't come, even if I don't, some people say, oh, you can just come and have a Coke and stuff.
Let's sit around.
Yeah, and I be open with them, saying I don't feel comfortable.
I don't feel comfortable to sit with people drinking alcohol.
Drinking alcohol has not been in my life for like, whatever the age I have.
Yeah.
So I can't get used to it all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And I don't want to.
Yeah.
So that's how I say, look, these are my boundaries.
Yeah.
As much as I don't judge you on what you do, but I have my boundaries. So this is how far I go with people.
Mm-hmm.
And I make sure that they understand that on very early days of my engagement.
Oh yeah.
Including the leadership and stuff, because for my role I have a lot of interactions with the leadership as well.
Yeah.
In many cases, once they understand, once you've been open with them, they make sure you are being looked after. As an example, when they are celebrating, they ask you, okay, where can we get the food from so that you can eat?
For the halal food.
For the halal food. And and more often than not, I suggest halal places, and that's where the whole food comes from.
Oh yeah.
So indirectly, everyone's having halal food.
Yeah.
So like if I'm going out for like any project celebration or any delivery celebration and stuff, I take them to halal place. So they and they come, they enjoy, they like the food, they're like, oh, we've never been here, and it kind of opens up their mind a little bit. It works like indirectly they're opening up to Muslims, Islam, and because the kind of conversations you have with them, they watch you and they get curious. So I think don't be afraid. At the same time, be open that you might not click everywhere. Like you need to be mindful that okay, not everyone gets it. You need to learn to not get hung up on it and move on. Like if something doesn't work for you and you can't convince people to understand you,
that's it. I will leave the country. That's it.
Well, leaving a country is an option, but it's a drastic option. But you find other avenues. There are people who are generally curious here, so they normally understand with you. So, that's my experience so far. Anyway.
So you're saying that there's a path for you to grow, but you need to adapt but always keep your boundaries up.
Being open right at the start about your boundaries and stuff. So because there's no point in you compromising your boundaries and then trying to be like others. It's not going to win you anything anyway.
And then you will lose yourself.
Absolutely, and you don't know where you belong. So
So
in terms of growing in organizations with these barriers, It's definitely tougher than the normal crowd. But
Mm.
again, you need to make sure that you're keeping yourself sharp with the kind of skill set you're bringing in. And in my role, language is everything. The way I communicate my message, so that more people are listening to me and they understand me is absolutely important.
Yeah.
And I think it's regardless of the role, I think it's important everywhere. So you need to make sure that you're building that reputation or the trust that he or she knows the job and they are here to make a difference. I think you need to build that trust, and then inshallah after that things will fall in place. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So work is done, and you finish your education, you start working and growing up, and then you got married,
Yes.
right?
Everyone has to take.
Yes. The nice happy story about getting marriage is very interesting, but we are interested in the visa part of it.
Yeah.
So you've been here, and then you got married. Have you struggled with getting your wife?
Absolutely. I definitely I got married in 2011. So
Okay.
it was a time when culturally arranged marriage visa was not really a common knowledge.
Yeah.
So you were looked at as the normal partnership application.
And the partnership application, you need to stay with each other for 12 months.
For 1 year, yes.
Yeah.
And within that 1 year, you have to show like relationship,
Living together,
living together, doing things together,
Bank
what it
accounts.
is, bank accounts,
photos.
expenses,
Yeah.
photos,
Bills, yeah.
you need to show that you are actually in a relationship.
Yeah.
Again, the background to that is generally in the local population, marriage comes after everything. After you've been together for some time,
For 7 years.
for many years.
Yes, and then you get married and you have kids.
And then you get married. So
Yeah.
for the local people, that's like a alien subject that someone can get married to
Their
their connections and then build a life.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate that they don't have this kind of openness. But I think because of the migration growing and people from all parts of the world coming in, Middle East, India, Pakistan,
Yeah.
so they're building awareness on that. But still, I think it's still a barrier. I think you still have to prove a lot. So for me, what I did was I applied for a visa for my wife as a dependent back there. At the same time, that small time I spent in India after the marriage, we've done a few things. So we were like sharing the evidences and stuff.
Nice.
So again, it's intentionally creating those digital footprints
Oh yeah.
that you're always in touch. Sometimes it's important that you also have to share your emails,
Yeah.
your WhatsApp messages with the immigration officer.
Yeah.
It's like the doctor, you have to do
Yeah.
behind them.
Yeah.
Again, coming from the cultures we come from, it's not comfortable
Yes.
for us to be so open about our private chats and stuff.
Yeah.
But I felt like a trade-off. Do you want the family to be with you, or do you want to delay that?
Yeah.
So there are things. Some of the things are awkward. I think you need to trust that it's the part of the process, and no one's interested in your personal life. They're just checking the box
Yeah.
that you are staying in touch.
Just a proof.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to build that evidence. Like you have to intentionally say, okay, we are going out to buy even grocery. Okay, let's say, okay, this is the grocery list we prepared together,
Oh yeah.
and this is how we bought it. Like we went on a road trip. You're taking pictures. So like we're building on the digital footprint. So yeah, you
Okay.
have the application.
Nice.
Yeah.
So marriage, and then kids. Then the kids starting to grow up in a Western country, in a place where you don't have a lot of relatives. Their friends in school are not Muslims, are different in different ways. How do you find this challenge, or how did you figure out how to solve this issue for the kids? Growing up kids in a Western country while keeping them Muslims.
I think it's a very big challenge in this country, raising kids as Muslims, and I think the biggest challenge is us as a parent understanding that we are growing up with our kids.
Oh yeah.
So we are not experienced being a parent. Every year they grow, it's something new for us to learn on how they are growing up. So I think being mindful that there are a lot of things we don't know about the parenthood, and we need to be adapting with that. Again, a lot of things is in the environment, as we say. I think as our wife used to say,
Yeah.
environment is everything. So we need to consciously look for environments where there is a lot of exposure to our kind of culture.
Okay.
Picking areas where there are a lot of masajid.
Oh yeah.
And finding every opportunity to take our kids and get them involved in the masjid activities. Like, alhamdulillah, there are a lot of masjids who actually have kids programs. We need to make sure to take them all to all those activities, whether they are participating or they're just sitting there and watching that.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I think it's important to build that kind of kids community for our kids, so that they want to come to the masjid next time there is a program. I think finding those masajids who are actively encouraging the younger generation to be around the masjid is absolutely key. That could come at a compromise, because these the populations are limited, the areas and the masajids are limited. You might be paying a lot to stay in that particular area. Parent, that's a sacrifice you have to make.
Yeah.
To give your kids that upbringing you want for them. No, like if you look for cheaper accommodations and go away from the masjid, which means you're going away from being a Muslimness. You have to try more harder to remain Muslim, and make sure you're giving the Muslim upbringing to the kid. Finding schools who are open to Muslims.
Yeah.
Like, our kids go to schools, say there is like 30-40% Muslim population.
Yeah, it's a state school, but it has a big relation of Muslims.
Okay,
So the school will consider.
Absolutely. So they are like, finding these kind of schools through, like, your contacts in the community, saying, hey, which school is open for Muslims, which school lets you carry on with being Muslim without having any troubles and stuff. So there are schools who actually care about all these things. So finding an opportunity, finding a house closer to those schools, again, at the expense of paying more rent and stuff. But I think that's a good investment in your kids.
Mm-hmm.
So more than expense, I would see that as an investment. For your kids, so that they can still go to normal state schools while having no trouble following being a Muslim, and being open about being a Muslim and stuff. So those are the things I think you'll have to actively put yourself through, and always find opportunities where you can.
Okay, how about a story from conflict with the school about something like a sexual education, or do you recall anything?
Yes, I mean, I think that's everywhere.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, again, in this country, probably a majority of the Western countries, this is the biggest bugbear for parents, Muslim parents generally. I would even say parents following any religion.
Yeah.
This is a problem, probably more so for Muslims, because of the clear guidelines we have. I think the school our kids go to, there was some occasions where there were some indications that the school is going to pick up this education, because what we need to understand in these countries, that Ministry of Education mandates some part of the curriculum.
Yeah.
And the sexual education is part of the curriculum for all schools. How much do they push is up to the schools. The schools might have some luxury on how seriously they push the curriculum. So again, that's where us consciously, actively looking for schools who are actually taking this vitally. The schools our kids go to, alhamdulillah, the principal have been very open that they are only giving the kids the bare minimum understanding, and not trying to fill their minds with unnecessary stuff.
And that's because the government is giving them the guidelines. They can implement it in the way they find the best for their students.
Absolutely. So they are like this school particularly, we can't say this is every school is doing this, but the school we are sending our kids to, they're only doing minimum to check the box. They're not pushing too much. They're not trying to overdo it, which is okay, because we can't avoid it. But if it has to be something, let's be the minimum. But again, it all depends on the principal. So if the principal changes, you have to be very careful on how other principals are approaching it.
Yeah.
So we cannot say every principal is the same. You have to actively seek knowledge. Best thing I would suggest, this is what we do with our kids and schools, is don't sit back and expect the school to do everything. As parents, one good thing about this country is schools invite parents to be actively involved in the school. So there is like a parents-teacher association. They ask you for opinions and stuff. They send you feedback surveys and stuff. So make sure as a Muslim community, not just a single family, you all talk to each other and provide consistent feedback. That's how the principals and the staff knows that, okay, the community around the school is expecting certain things.
Yeah. How would they know?
Exactly.
If you didn't say.
And they'll form their policies based on the community feedback. If you're just sitting home and not getting involved, they will just go with the norm. I think that's absolutely most important thing, because a lot of our community are very busy doing other things. They don't think getting involved in the school, making sure when there is like a fundraising lunch, making sure that a school is providing halal options is absolutely important. Everything has to be intentional here. You need to make sure you're putting that effort to send an email. Again, we can be very strategic about these things. We can say, form a WhatsApp group among parents and say, hey parents, this is the email I'm drafted. Let us all send this email to the school. Say, hey, in the next event happening, can we have some halal food options for our kids, and suggest few options. Even sometimes going to the extent of going and talking to halal businesses, saying, hey, this school is doing a fundraiser and they need like 100 pizzas. Can you give them a good price? And most times businesses are open because for them they take this as a charity as well, because they think, okay, they are providing halal food for the kids. They give you a good price and and they support you.
Oh, you mean the halal places?
Yeah. So they might be making less money, but they're doing it for the sake of being charitable and providing that halal option. So I think again it's all about the parents being more involved and actively looking out for options for our kids and stuff. So
okay, so how about the schools in general? Your kids have been here in schools for the last 5 years?
yeah, 6 years.
6 years, and you have moved recently to Australia?
Yes.
So you left us, but it's okay. I will
See you later, New Zealand.
after 18 years, but it's okay. We will not judge you. So we offered you a Kiwi coffee. So still, we consider you a Kiwi. But
Thanks for the welcome. I am a tourist now.
yeah, so your kids have been at schools there.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between schools in New Zealand and schools in Australia?
I might not have a direct comparison because over here my kids were in state school, and in Australia, alhamdulillah, I got lucky with enrolling my kids in a private school but Islamic school.
Yeah, nice.
So the challenges are very different over there. I don't need to worry about the unnecessary sexual education over there, unnecessary habits or like wrong impressions, on how they should grow up and everything.
Yeah.
So in that sense, they are in a Muslim environment.
Oh yeah.
Like kids are Muslims, alhamdulillah, they get to pray Dhuhr and Asr as well, depending on the timings within the school in Jama'ah. So these facilities are there. So I don't have a straight comparison. But again, in saying that, it's not very different from here. Even in Australia, you need to make sure that you are living in areas where there is quite a big Muslim concentration. So the schools are aware of the community around them, and they're taking steps to accommodate our requirements. And there are schools who are close to the masjid I normally go to. They let kids go to Jummah, so they have awareness. So because there is like 30-40% Muslim population in that school, they are aware of Ramadan and the requirements around that. So they are accommodating. Again, unless we get involved in the school and have a say in the feedbacks and the community notices and stuff, the school will take it easy.
Yeah.
So I think it all depends on like. It's not like back in our countries, like we need to be actively promoting our, at least raising awareness of our needs and stuff. So,
Okay.
I don't think in that sense it's very different from here.
Okay. How about not just the schools? So how about a quick comparison between living in Australia and living in New Zealand, in terms of work, housing, and general life? What are the differences? What's good, what's bad, what's ugly?
Yeah, look, I think I am in Queensland. Brisbane is the city I'm living in. Being in New Zealand for last 18 years, alhamdulillah, Queensland almost feels like an extension of New Zealand.
Okay.
People are generally the same with good weather.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Good weather.
Well, depends on what you like. So it's reasonably hot over there. So the winter is not as peak over there. In fact, people wait for winter over there, so you can understand how hot it might get there. So in that sense,
How hot? When you say how hot,
it can get like 36, 37 in summers,
and
sometimes on a particular time of the
36.
summer. Yeah, it seems it can touch like 39, 40 as well.
Oh man, it's when it touched to 26 here, we'll be dying of
Yes.
the heat.
Absolutely. Look, people might be thinking, oh, it's okay. We come from hot countries. We have seen 45, 50 as well.
Yeah.
One thing to understand here is the heat here is very different to our countries. Even I was used to 45, 46 back in India. But the heat here, as you said, even 30 degrees is very, very strong
Yeah.
because there is no
Ozone.
ozone layer in the atmosphere. So it's there, but it's very, very
There was a hole in the wall.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you get all the harmful rays directly on your skin. In fact, Queensland, it seems it's the skin cancer capital of the world.
Ya Allah. Ya Allah.
So you have to go out
Fly.
wearing the skin like the sunscreen.
Sunscreen.
Every time you're going out, you need to apply the sunscreen. Otherwise, you're exposed to the damage it can cause. So I think these are easy precautions.
Yeah.
You just need to get used to it.
Yeah.
From that sense. So yeah, weather-wise, that's the story. City almost looks the same. In fact, depending on where you are in New Zealand, we are in Auckland.
Yeah.
So for Auckland, for New Zealand standards, we are in the biggest city.
Yes.
So obviously, there's a lot of activity happening here. Being
The money capital and the biggest
capital,
one.
the business capital, a lot of things opening up new and everything. So that you can see things changing within the last 4 months. I've been out.
Yeah.
I've seen new things happening here, including the mall we just went to.
Yeah.
So, but from an Australian standards, Brisbane is like the third city.
Third. Oh yeah.
Yeah, like it's Sydney, obviously the biggest center, Melbourne, and then there's Brisbane.
Oh yeah.
So you could feel that it's a bit slow from what you're used to.
Brisbane to Auckland.
Correct.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Although it's big city and everything, it
Not big as Auckland.
probably it's bigger than Auckland in land.
Oh.
Like 'cause the city is very spread out. Like going from one suburb to another suburb. Like here,
Oh yeah. A lot of driving.
yeah, it can be 5 minutes from here in Auckland, but there'll be like 10-15 minutes drive one suburb to the other suburb.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Sometimes even half an hour.
Yeah.
So those are the things you need to be getting used to.
Mm-hmm.
But the kind of options you have, the shopping experiences, majority of the brands you have here, like your everyday shoppings, are over there as well.
Are Australian.
Yes, they're actually Australian. So
Like Countdown, Woolworth. Yeah.
exactly. So majority of the things you're very aware.
Mm.
Probably the better thing over there is you have more competition.
So yeah.
So over here it's a duopoly. So you only have
So there's one holding company holds everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the supermarkets here have more power over you.
Oh yeah.
But in Australia you have like 4 or 5 brands. So there is a lot of competition. So they have to keep the prices down. In fact, they give you a lot more offers. So if you are very strategic with your shopping,
Yeah.
you can get good deals. Sometimes half price as well.
Yeah.
So for those are options there. Traffic wise, similar. Brisbane probably is a bad example. They have like it's a growing city, but experiencing massive migration in the last 2-3 years.
Yeah.
So the migration is growing much faster than the city's infrastructure.
Oh yeah.
So for now, it probably is not the best in terms of traffic congestion and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's something you might struggle with a little bit, but public transport is okay, better than here I think. So you can still rely. In fact, in Queensland, the government have made every public transport option at just 50 cents.
50 cents.
No matter where you're going, how far you're going, if you're taking a public transport, one trip is only 50 cents.
So going to the office and coming back using public transport,
Is
I'll
$1
pay
per
$1.
day. $1 per day.
Man, I'm paying here at least $8 here.
Yes. And even if you're taking like multiple buses and multiple trains and stuff, it's still one trip. So like from your house to going to work, and no matter how many times you have to change,
Yeah.
it's just 50 cents.
Ya Allah.
Yeah, so that's like so they're very actively encouraging public transport. They're increasing the frequency and stuff. So in that sense, yeah, they are doing some good things. Buying a car, your vehicle is more expensive there because of import regulations and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So that could be a little bit of a shock compared to Auckland standards.
Yeah, in Auckland I can buy a decent car for 4,000 to 6,000,
Yes.
and it would be like 2007, 10, and it will be newly imported from Japan. So I'll be the first owner in New Zealand.
Yeah. So there's no such concept there. So you are buying, even the used cars over there are Australian
Made.
cars. Australian made, Australian sold.
Okay.
They were sold in Australia, sold in Australian showrooms. and stuff.
they're not imported.
Not imported, yeah. So there's a difference in that. So that definitely will be a shock. And also maintaining your car, like registration. Over here, you pay like $120 per year. Back in
Actually, 19.
19, yeah. In Australia, you're paying like nearly $1,000.
1,000.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So there are differences. Like not everything is.
But the petrol there is cheap.
Petrol is cheap. Yeah. In fact, according to the Australian standards, it's gone up. But for Kiwis who are paying like nearly $3 here, I think over there I can just buy premium petrol for 180, 150,
Premium is 95.
98. I can buy 1 liter for 170 something.
170 is yeah, that's big.
Yeah, so there are pluses and minuses. Yeah, obviously. Yeah. Food options again compared to Auckland being this big city, halal options mainly are limited
In Brisbane.
in Brisbane.
Yeah.
But Sydney, Melbourne flooded.
Yeah.
You can have a lot of options.
Yeah.
But Brisbane, in my observation so far, options are fairly limited, but they're growing as well.
Because there is no very big Muslim community there.
Exactly. It's still bigger than here, but I think for that city, it's still. There are options. Don't take me wrong. There are options, but I think not as many as here.
Not as many as Auckland.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I think, with the migration in such a boom, people who are coming to do business over there, there's a massive opportunity. So they can open, halal business and stuff, and inshallah they'll be successful. And also, there's not a lot of online presence. So businesses who have.
This was like Auckland when I came to it.
Correct, like 10, 15 years ago, Auckland was like that.
Yeah. Okay, how about in terms of work? So work options, business there is huge. Or it's a continent. Australia is a continent, right?
Yes. Well, from a continent perspective, I think New Zealand comes under the same continent. I think there is debate. There is a debate. Yeah. I could be factually wrong there, but yeah.
Yeah. But what are the options and how good are they?
So, I think again talking about Brisbane, I think as I said, timing is everything. Right now, it's unique timing in Brisbane because they are hosting Olympics in 2032.
Oh, nice.
Right. So obviously 2032, although it's far away, things kick off early. Like when a city is hosting Olympics, they start like roughly about 10 years before that.
Yeah.
Because they need to build the infrastructure and everything. So there is massive investment from the government in Queensland. The downside of it is obviously it's attracting a lot of migration. Things are becoming more expensive, housing and things.
Yeah.
But at the same time, city is developing rapidly, much faster than normal times. They are investing a lot in infrastructure like transport, facilities, stadiums, and those things. This is unique time if Brisbane is on your list.
Oh yeah.
Because things are rapidly shaping up. So I think that's a unique time, unique opportunity for Queensland in general right now. So yeah, I think, and because of that investment, obviously job market is hot. It's still slow due to the global impact and everything, like the inflation all across the world and everything. So all those challenges are still there. But because of heavy injection of funding from government, the job market is still staying afloat, and companies are taking advantage of this because there's a lot of migration coming. Companies are shifting a lot of operations from other bigger cities to here, which kind of generates jobs and things. Regardless of this particular unique situation, Queensland have mining as a big industry.
Queensland?
Yeah.
I thought it's only Perth.
No. Perth and Queensland, they both have.
Nice.
I think Perth is the major in terms.
So mines means a lot of money.
Exactly. So mining, they're like, mining is a big industry in its own.
Yeah.
And Queensland is probably the second city when it comes to mining. Perth is definitely the first one. So there is a mining population, mining employment here as well in Queensland. I think it might be slightly outside Brisbane. Mining being mining, but they still have the head offices in Brisbane.
So like you're an IT
job, you don't need to work in the site and stuff. So that's another industry which is always there. And there are few big employers who are like headquartered in Brisbane, like Virgin Australia as an airline, Flight Centre Group, and they're like a global company, but their headquarters is in Brisbane. So there are few big employments.
Okay, let's go and have a seat here to finalize our.
Let's get to the olives.
Yes. Okay, let's go. Hopefully, it's not very noisy. The 3 million questions. The 3 questions, so everyone will be 1 million.
I want to get it.
What the most valuable advice would you tell someone who's coming for the first time?
I think a lot of the things we already touched upon. I think you need to come here to be more aware and of your surroundings. It'll not be the same like your hometown. I think that's the biggest culture shock. We need to become coming prepared for. I think I would say be open to learning. At the same time, not compromising your values. If you force yourself to fit in, you're sacrificing your own values. So I would say come here with an open mind and being clear that you have your own boundaries and you're not gonna be stepping out of it. So in that way, you're doing good for yourself as well as being open about learning new things. So rest will come. Rest will come with experience. So yeah.
Nicely said. 3 best things about New Zealand. So when you went to Australia, you missed them. Now,
Nature.
nature.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
Australia does have a lot of nature.
Yes, the biggest difference is I can sit here literally next to the beach with a lot of trees, a lot of grass,
Yeah.
nothing to worry about.
Oh, yeah.
Over there, Australia is the country rich in wildlife,
Wildlife.
reptiles.
Oh, yeah.
So you can have like big lizards,
Snake.
walking around,
Yeah.
massive
Scorpion.
snakes, scorpions. You'll not see them every day,
Yeah.
but like if you're going into the bushes and things, you have to be very, very aware that you can encounter those things.
Oh, yeah.
So again, 99% of the times you'll not see anything, but you need to understand that Australia is home to some of the deadliest reptiles in the world. Probably 7 or 8 in the top 10 are in Australia.
Oh, man.
So
How about the sea life? The sharks?
yes, everything. It's in a way
At any
it's rich in wildlife.
Yeah.
So although you have a lot of greenery, all the bushes, and especially in Queensland, like right in the middle of a big suburbs, you'll have like a very deep forest area. You'll have koalas passing signs and everything. So these are all good things, but at the same time, you need to be aware. Like if you're a Kiwi who's lived in like laid back Kiwi, not worrying about anything, for you it'll be a big struggle mentally. As I said, 99% of the times you'll not see anything.
Yeah.
But if a Kiwi is walking into bushes in Australia, 99% of the times you're thinking that there is something waiting for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it might not be true, but you're scared of those things.
Yeah.
So that's a big difference. When I landed here, I saw all the green. I was like, oh, I can walk in any time.
Yeah.
It's not the same over there.
Yeah.
So that's one big thing I miss.
Nature.
Nature, absolutely. And nature and the safety, I think.
Yeah.
Another thing, probably mainly for Auckland, obviously when you're removing yourself from a country where you lived for 18 years, friends.
Oh, yeah.
Like people like you and
Yeah.
it takes many years to have these kind of connections.
Yeah.
So when you're going to a new country, that's something you need to build. And it takes years to establish those connections.
Yeah, but okay, so moving out from a country to another, you will miss your friends, absolutely.
Yeah.
But let's talk about New Zealand specific things. So nature is a very New Zealand thing.
Yes, absolutely.
How about other things? 2 more things.
I think it's a hard one to answer because, as I said, a lot of the things New Zealand has, Australia also has, probably in bigger scale. So there'll be very few things you might miss.
How about India?
India,
So 3 things you will miss them if you went to India. Food.
Yeah.
Here. Food.
well, Indian food.
Oh, okay.
Again, like you almost have everything, but the original food
Oh, yeah.
and the options and the innovation in your countries is second to none because obviously bigger markets, big population, cheap food.
Yeah.
They are more available in our countries than here.
Yeah.
Here people are trying to introduce those things. It's getting better and better every month. But still,
There is a cost, a hidden cost for it.
Yeah. So that will be the second thing I would say. Traffic is fixed easy, but people here will complain. So so that's something you need to get used to.
After living 2 or 3 years, you start complaining about traffic.
This is nothing, but the local people will say, "Oh, this is very bad." So you need to get used to that. And work-life balance. If I'm comparing, coming from our Middle East, India, Pakistan, those countries, it's a breeze.
Yeah.
It's a massive difference. In fact, you might feel awkward, like you can
Oh, I can work just 8 hours. That's
can
very
work 8
strange.
hours, and
Just 8 hours.
maybe I'm just being too stereotype here, but I mean, you don't need to tell anyone before leaving your work at 5 o'clock.
Yeah. It's not being white. It's
Yeah.
being just in New Zealand.
Yeah, exactly. So probably back in our countries, depending on the kind of managers you have, you might have to tell them that before you're leaving the office that I'm finishing for today.
Yeah.
Over here, there's no such expectation.
Then they
People
will
care
ask you.
about the work you're bringing in. They care about the task you're completing, and the transparency you have. So in that sense, they respect your balance. They want you to actually have a good time and live life, and not be stuck to your machines for.
Because this will pay you back when you finish your work. So when you have a good rest, you'll be able to product more.
You're
Yes.
more productive, your brain
Yes,
is sharp,
yes.
like you're relaxed and you're thinking. So yeah, obviously all these things are there. So the work-life balance is respected, not only respected but encouraged here.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't be surprised if your manager here said, "Why are you working
yeah.
overtime?"
Or if you work overtime, they will not be very happy with you.
Yeah, absolutely. It might be seen as negative because
Yeah.
some managers might be worried that you're setting wrong standards in the team.
Yeah.
And other people in the team might be getting worried that someone is working or not working. So they are mindful of those things. So that's definitely there. From a New Zealand and Australia perspective, it's almost similar. It's almost similar. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. The last question.
Another million
If you have 3 things to change in New Zealand, and if they change, they will be like it will be the perfect country. 3 things to change.
Maybe it's more of a timely thing. It was not a problem last 5-10 years ago. 5-10 years ago, New Zealand used to be a very peaceful country with very minimal crime, very petty crimes. In the last 5-6 years, it's changed.
After COVID.
After COVID, I think mostly. Yeah. The day-to-day crime is becoming too much, to an extent that you can almost witness a crime.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Like shoplifters. People living.
Yeah. Just before I left New Zealand, my wife was just going and doing some.
Oh yeah.
And she was actually in the middle of
The diamond shop.
exactly a jewelry shop, which was probably struggling and closing down. So they were already going through a tough time, and my wife just happened to be there in the wrong time, in the wrong place, and robbery happened. Alhamdulillah, she escaped without any harm, but the trauma in the
Yeah. It's still in the mind.
yeah. So
And I was.
if that thing changes, I think there are a lot of people will lose the motivation to leave New Zealand. So it's crime is one of the big factors for people.
Yeah, I told you about the gunshots were in our street and it hit our glasses.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is there. It's not like it's not in the news anymore. It's happening in front of you.
Yeah.
So it's a massive factor.
crime.
Yeah.
One.
The other thing would be the laid backness.
Oh yeah.
It's good. It's good in a way. Again, probably we are contradicting ourselves a little bit here because we said the work-life balance, etc. It's like a plus,
Yeah.
but if it goes too much, it could be a negative as well.
Yeah.
Like people are getting too relaxed. Yeah. So I think if you are here for too long, you might think you become too slow for the market.
And this is
But
the.
I didn't say anywhere else.
Yeah.
So I think
This is
so I
how
think
it-
it's a conscious thing. You need to be saying, okay, I'm getting too easy. Life is becoming too normal. I need to break the normalcy.
This is 2. Work-life balance.
Yeah.
Laid back.
Yeah.
3.
I think we talked about 3.
Oh.
The
I wanted to take one more.
yeah. So it's 4, not 3 then.
Yeah.
What else? What could be? You're making me. I think this is a $2 million question then.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I agree.
Thinking hard. Yeah. And thinking hard for a lazy Kiwi is
Oh yeah.
a bit
No,
of-
but they are Aussie now, so they are Australian. So.
Yeah, look, I think better, easier immigration policies. I think in the last,
Oh, thank you.
yeah, we are talking for the migrant community, right? So I think that's the biggest factor right now. In the last 3-4 years, the immigration policies have become very, very, very horrible. Like people who are coming here, they don't have a clear path to residency. So a lot of the people who are taking the chance, they don't have clarity on if they're actually going to settle here. So for a migrant, it's a big thing.
Yeah, if they came in a work visa and they are not very sure if they will get the residency and then citizenship after this, why would they come?
Yeah, absolutely. It's, for migrants to choose a country, it's like a massive leap of faith.
Yeah.
And it was always the case, but right now it's a big gamble for people who are coming here because they don't know a lot of things compared to before.
Yeah.
Like 5-6 years ago, they had a reasonable understanding. Okay, if I do this, I'll get to the next stage. If I do this, I'll get to the next stage. Right now, because of all the policies and the vague policies right now, people don't know.
Yeah.
Like they are taking, they're investing their life, their money, and their everything, sacrificing family and everything, but they don't have certainty if they're actually going to settle here and if they can make New Zealand their home. So it's a big thing. Yeah. So,
Yeah. Actually, this is
Yeah.
a great tip
Yeah.
to close with.
Yeah.
It's been a struggle for people coming to New Zealand, and now it's more struggle.
Yes, absolutely. And look, I think there are ways to work around it. Connect with people like Yahya, who's been here, who's been through the hoops most people will go through. So there might be some tips. They might watch his videos. I'm doing a plug for you.
It's okay. Just go. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe and it helps a lot.
All those things, support the channel and stuff. But yeah, look, I think there are people who have gone through, if not exactly same things, similar things in the past when they came here new. So there are learnings in it. So try to learn from the people who have gone through something similar before you, and don't come here thinking I have to do everything on my own. So yeah, as I say, take the olives when they're available. instead of planting your own tree,
Now you're using Arabic ideas.
Exactly. So yeah, so I'm talking to the Arabic community.
Yes, Zatoun.
Exactly. So yeah, so learn from what's available in the market and don't invent yourself all the time. There might be occasions where you have to do everything on your own, but not every time.
Wallahi, it's been a pleasure to have this interview with you.
It's been a good experience. Yes.
Yeah, we've been planning it since.
Yeah. As they say,
Very
late than never.
Yeah. And see the qadar, it's you coming for a week, and I'm catching you buying the mic.
Yeah.
I just bought this mic today.
So yeah, you're adding more to your technology.
Yes,
section, yes.
absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for.
Or cables in your studio.
Yeah. Wallahi, thanks for being with us, and hopefully it's very eye-opening for people who's watching.
Yeah, I hope it's useful. Again, these are our opinions.
Yeah.
We're not saying this is everything, but yeah, this is probably a slice of your learning. So yeah, we're happy to share it. Yeah.
And as Zubair said, if you find this useful, just go like and subscribe. Drop some comments if you would like, and I'll see you in the next video, inshallah.
Yeah, give more content ideas to we can be more useful going forward. Yeah.
Yeah, I will not remove this part of the video. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys.
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum. Salam. It's been a very successful. I think we have done more than an hour. And mostly I will not be cutting anything because, mashallah, you are a good speaker. You are a good speaker on the spot. So, yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
So when, inshallah, your next visit to Auckland?
Inshallah, I think next meeting should be in Australia. You should come there.
Wallah, I hope. But man, I can't come to Australia. I'm Egyptian. I will need a visa to visit.
Inshallah, next year.
Even for transiting, I cannot. Yeah.
Australia is the only country who requires visa even for transit.
For a lot of countries?
No, a lot of countries, if it's just transit, you can just come.
Yeah, but
with a ticket.
Yeah, but even now they start introduce